Hi, this is Max. So this is my last sprinkler system video. I got the boards back, got them assembled. Everything seems to be working. I got some basic software running using the MQX operating system. And so in this video I'll talk a little bit more about the software, and I'll actually be installing it in my garage. Here's the board with all the components. I have all the relays. And so I'm going to take the tower system. I already have the two boards plugged in. And I'm just going to plug my relay board. Plugging in the OSBDM, which also provides power to program the board. So when I actually install it in my garage, I'm going to be powering with the elevator connector power here. And the nice thing about this is you can actually buy power adapters that plug into the wall that have a mini USB plug, so you can power the whole system from the wall there. So this is the software for the sprinkler system. It's based on the MQX security demo, and the first file is sprinkler.io.c, and the first thing that I'm doing in this file is telling it what signals from the microcontroller are used to turn on and off the zones. And the way I picked these signals are, I looked at the schematics for the 51CN microcontroller module, and I found some signals that weren't really being used for anything. For example, on the edge connector pin B21, it's categorized as general purpose I/O, and it's connected to port TF5 on the microcontroller. And so on the schematic relay board, I connected that signal to one of the zones. And then this file also does the initialization of the I/O and setting it up. And there's a great app note. It's called Writing Your First MQX Application. It's on the Freescale website. It's AN3905, and this gives a lot of good information on getting started and setting up I/O. So the next file we'll look at is private.c, and this has the output structure for the pins, which is used to control them, and also the function prototypes. And then sprinklerutil.c has some of the functions for getting and setting the output. And finally, sprinklershellcommands.c, and this is where the guts of the system is, and there are so what the user is going to telnet into the system and get access to the shell commands. And there are two. One is the sprinkler command, and this just controls if the system is active, so it turns on and off the system. And then there's a zone command, which lets the user tell it which zone to turn on, and also give it a timeout value to tell it how long to run. And so I have the board connected, and I'm going to go ahead and telnet to it. So on my computer here, if I get a command prompt, and so the board with DHCP and get an IP address. 4. Okay, so I'm in. I can type help to get some information. Turn the sprinkler on. That just enables the system, makes it active. And now if I go zone 1 for 1 minute, so that turns on zone 1 for 1 minute. And the LEDs on the relay board and the audible click you can hear tells me that the relays have been connected. And there's a relay for the zone, individual zone, and there's also a relay for the main valve, and you have to have the main valve always turns on when any zones. So this is where my old sprinkler used to be, and I've taken a network cable and I've routed it from my computer to the box. And the old sprinkler system had a 24 volt AC power supply, so I'll be tapping off of that to the relay board. And then there's wires that go to all the valves in the sprinkler system. So I'm going to cut this off and wire in the new sprinkler system. So I just wired it all up. Each wire for the zones connect to the terminals on either side, and also the power terminal here, and I've added a fuse for safety. Okay, so it's all good to go, and I will start testing it out.